It's all right. That's cool. All right, welcome back to episode number 5 of Corks and Cooks podcast. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, commenting, liking, sharing, all the above.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like much, but it is very much appreciated. So today we're going to kind of skip over some dad jokes. We're going to give those a break for maybe a couple weeks. If you guys want to go back to it, we can always go back to it.
Yeah.
People are still sending us jokes, so
Very sure.
we'll always have some. Today we're going to cover a couple different topics. Obviously, the first one's been pretty much the top talk of the week with O.J. Simpson dying, the murder trial of O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown.
O.J. Simpson was born on July 9th of 1947 in San Francisco, California, where he then died on April 10th of 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada, surrounded by family and grandchildren.
Yeah, they're saying that it was I think cancer, right?
Cancer, from what I was hearing.
Yeah, but everybody I know I've seen some videos, and they're almost everybody you talk to is going to say that he did it. The whole murder trial and everything. The whole story is he was a football player, murdered his wife, but became acquitted because the whole
if the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
Yeah. So I was like not even born when this first started yet. This was like a couple months before I got born, but I know before I was born, so I know it's a very popular trial. This trial, and then the only other trial I ever followed was the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard one, because that was just pure entertainment.
Oh, everybody loves
yeah,
Johnny
that was
Depp.
yeah,
Come
that was
on,
funny.
Man.
Yeah. So anyway, O.J. Simpson got away with murder. He tried to say he had these bloody gloves that he used for the murder, and then when they had them trial them on during the trial, they didn't fit, even though there was some reason, and I forget what it was, that like his hands were swollen or something like that. So the gloves obviously weren't going to fit, and he pretty much got away with it. And it looks like, I guess you could say, karma finally caught up.
It seems
a lot
like
of people are saying it.
It looks pretty sad though for the one guy that got killed, the dude with his ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
Because it says on a news article released 24 hours ago that an attorney for Rod Goldman's father claims that O.J. Simpson, who was famously and controversially acquitted of murdering Ron, which was his son, and Nicole Brown Simpson, owed the Goldman family more than $100 million prior to his recent death.
$100 million. I can't even imagine.
It says O.J. Simpson, who died at the age of 76 on April 10th following a cancer diagnosis, has been ordered to pay the Goldman and Brown family $33.5 million after he was found liable in the wrongful death lawsuit in 1997. Imagine being this family, like your kid was killed, you didn't get closure, but you were able to get a lawsuit. But it's like, no.
It's still, everybody says, wow, that's a lot of money, like that must be nice, but that still doesn't,
there's no amount.
No, that still doesn't make up for anything like that. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? So June 12th, 1994, Simpson's ex-wife and Goldman were stabbed to death outside of her condominium in Los Angeles. Simpson quickly became the prime suspect. Rather than surrendering to police after being notified of impending charges on June 17th, Simpson hid in the back of a sport utility vehicle driven by his friend A.C. Cowling. So I don't know if you've seen, and if I can find a video of it, I'll post it too, the famous white Bronco that he was driving and like pulled into the driveway. The chase and everything.
Road chase,
So after being told that Simpson had a gun to his own head, law enforcement officers followed the vehicle at low speeds for more than an hour. So obviously, something like that, you don't want to take the risk, so you got to go slow. They attempted to, quote unquote, escape, and it was televised live nationally, seen by an estimated 95 million viewers. And that's crazy because this was back in the 90s. And like, for things, obviously people had TV in the 90s, but like 95 million views is still a lot of freaking views for social media not even being a thing. Like, if that were to happen now, like, speaking of, we didn't even talk about going over this, but I can't even think of her last name. Her name was Gabby, and she was like traveling with her boyfriend.
Gabby, Oh my god, starts to pay. I know
Yeah,
which one you're talking about.
yeah. But she's traveling with her boyfriend,
And he
and he was,
killed her.
he was the prime suspect, and then eventually come to find out he had killed himself. He
Gabby
had killed.
Petito.
Yes, yes, that was another one I kind of followed for a while because it was crazy. You know what I mean, but just social media again, as we always keep going back to the way the word spreads. So the fact that 95 million people had watched this live as it was happening, and he was a famous football player, so like everybody's like, oh, they forgot where he came from, and don't talk about his football accomplishments. I guess not when he was going to trial for murder of
Yeah.
his wife. So it's kind of definitely a crazy situation. Hundreds of Simpsons fans lined the streets in support of him, even though this was happening. So again, going back to his football fans, it
Yeah.
ended at his home in Brentwood, California, where he was placed under arrest and taken into police custody. So obviously, never harmed himself, but eventually gave up, and
Yeah.
police took him into custody, and that's where it all began.
It says, as of 1 day ago, according to a court filing, OJ claimed to have an estimated net worth of 10.8 million and a monthly income of 55,000 per the Celebrity Net.
$55,000 a month.
So when he died with 10.8 million, and I'm pretty sure like that one family he still owes money to.
Well, that's all he had. Like, so
It's gonna
everything,
go to
yeah,
the family
everything
he
he
still
had was only
owes.
worth that 10 point whatever million. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Damn, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Loaded.
It's
Yeah, so
insane.
he was formally arraigned on July 22nd, 1994, and entered a that's uncalled for. Formally arraigned on July 22nd, 1994, and entered a plea of not guilty. The trial began on January 24th, 1995. So obviously months later, like we just said, it takes a little bit to start. Um, Los Angeles District's Attorney Office emphasized the domestic violence that had occurred prior to and after the Simpsons' '92 divorce as a motive for the murders. So they're saying like he already had instances of domestic violence and everything. So it's like what kind of led up to they're assuming what was happening.
Yeah. In December 1994, investigators from the Los Angeles County Prosecutor's Office drilled open a safe box that had belonged to Nicole Brown Simpson. In it, they found Polaroids of her battered face and letters from O.J. Simpson apologizing for the abuse
Oh,
he
I didn't even
portrayed
know
on
that.
there.
That
Mm-hmm.
was when like in the middle of all of this, like when it was
Mm-hmm.
happening. I didn't even know that part. I
Yeah.
never like actually sat and watched the trial, which I probably should because it's definitely interesting. But it's been talked
She,
about for years.
it says that she had a note in the safe that said, "In the event of my death, look for this guy."
So
And
she already
underneath
had a
was,
feeling
yeah, she already had a feeling it was
it
going
was
to
going to be,
happen.
yeah. So he was, if anything were to happen, it was going to be him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, and he still got off on this.
Mm. Which then leads us into our next topic segment of today's show. It would be
P
good old Mr.
Diddy.
Diddy.
Yeah. Speaking of, I know as soon as this thing started to come out about him, Kesha, that one
Yeah.
song she said, wake up in the morning feeling like P Diddy, she instantly scratched it and like didn't want it to be played. She like edited it over and published like new songs or new
Did
cover.
she
Yeah, she
really?
like completely wanted nothing to, as she should, and wanted nothing to do with it. And like obviously she didn't know, but they're
Yeah.
saying like this whole thing with him, like it's pretty much like an Epstein situation. Like there's a list of people.
Oh
Um,
yeah, there's a book apparently. There's
mhm.
a video actually. It's all over TikTok and it's all over YouTube. It's a video of Justin Bieber meeting up
I
with
saw that.
Diddy and
Yeah.
like he handshakes him, but then he like low key pats him
I
down
saw that, like making
and
sure
then
he
grabs
wasn't
his head and
wired and stuff
whispers to
like
him, make
that.
sure he wasn't
Yeah.
wired.
Nah, the music industry and the Hollywood, and
It's
obviously we don't know because we're
corruption.
not in that industry, but it's disgusting.
It
It's
is
absolutely disgusting.
corruption. It is.
Hmm.
And it reminds me of Epstein because when you think about it, how do you get off being this kind of person, harming others and holding blackmail on them to get where you're at?
There's a lot of they
And
feel like they're above
apparently
everybody because
there's
they're a
like
celebrity.
there's rumors all about J Lo and stuff. Well, that's you know what you have to remember too that these celebrities get away with so much because money. They
Hmm.
have money
Well,
to
that's
buy and pay people
even
off.
the, and I don't even know exact names. Not too long ago, there was something that came out. I think about celebrities or like sports teams or whatever, players in sports teams where they were like sexually assaulting masseuses,
Mm-hmm.
and because they have the money, like you know what I mean.
It's a
But
shame.
it is. It's absolutely crazy. But
Because
I
wasn't there that video that leaked of Diddy like beating the shit out of someone in an elevator?
oh, I don't
Like
know.
the
I didn't
girl
see
was
that.
drunk and passed out in there. Yeah, he like whooped her ass.
I've been absolutely trashed, and not once have I really felt like needing to fight somebody, let alone a drunk woman or a woman in general. Like
Yeah.
I've
So
never
that
put
I
my
think
hands like.
is what sparked it. And then once they raided him, apparently they showed videos like
Well,
they
they
demolished
actually,
his
yeah, they
house.
did. They were actually able to get in and disable his camera system before they even raided. So
Mm-hmm.
like he couldn't, you know what I mean? So
Couldn't
like
track where
yeah, they
they
couldn't
went
do
or
nothing.
what they
But he
did.
had like apparently he had like hidden cameras in these rooms and everything like
Yeah,
that.
he had a massive security system. Did you see
Yeah.
the firewall on that
Oh
thing?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
which like
gosh.
I understand as a celebrity, you're probably gonna have like a network rack in your house because
Mm-hmm.
like you're gonna have cameras, you're gonna have network, you're gonna have all
Yeah.
this stuff, and like I get that, but like his setup was crazy.
Oh, his neighbor was
Oh, I
hilarious
saw that the
though. He
neighbor
like
pulled out and
he
he was
gonna
like,
dance in here at 2 in the morning, be a
yeah,
party full of
yeah,
women.
I
Like
saw
he was
that, and he
mad
said
at
maybe he
him.
should stop inviting all these minors or something like that, and then he
Yeah,
pulled out because they obviously they had the street blocked off.
yeah.
That's absolutely crazy.
That's insane when you think about that. Like how much celebrities get away with just because how much money they
And
have.
it's crazy. Maybe because we don't have it. Like I don't think I would ever act like that as a
No,
celebrity.
I
Like
wouldn't.
I wouldn't
No.
people like I would have nice things obviously like I would get what I deserve, but I wouldn't have like flashy shit and I wouldn't have like don't get me wrong, I'd probably get like a Lambo. Like you know what I mean?
Oh
But,
yeah. My
but like
dream was
I
a pink
wouldn't take advantage of
Lambo.
it just because I'm a celebrity. Like do you know who I am? Like people who do that are absolutely disgusting.
They're nasty. And guess what? It's all gonna catch up to him. Because think about it too. Like Epstein's been dead for how long? Because come
Epstein didn't kill
on, that's
himself.
conspiracy. They killed him. We know they
Yeah.
did. Powers that be did not want him out because of the names on that list. And think about it.
Mhm.
They're now getting ready to release the list, and he's been dead for how long?
Mhm.
And no offense, but
Well, he
why is
also
this list even confidential?
he
Because
dipped.
it's politicians, it's
It's everybody
Democrats,
that the government doesn't want you
Republicans,
to know.
celebrities, all like
People
married
that they don't want you to
old
know.
men. Like Bill Clinton was on this island. Bill Clinton, you were married. Like, let's get it real.
Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky.
Like, come
Come
on.
on, like
Donald Trump was there. Like, you've got
yeah,
all these people that were there, and they don't want their careers ruined by it leaking. But let's be realistic. You went there, it's gonna
it's
leak
gonna
at
leak,
some point in
and
time.
somebody's gonna find
Diddy,
out.
Diddy did what
Hmm.
he did, and guess what? Now it's catching up to you.
And there's more people coming out and
Oh,
saying,
a lot.
which obviously happens like every time there's a trial. You know, people. It's a
Now they're
I've
all
it had
comfortable
happened to
coming
me
out.
too. Yeah, same thing like with Bill Cosby when all that shit
Yeah.
was happening with Bill Cosby. All these people were coming out, and some of them are very truthful, and then there's other people that just want to do it for the publicity because they can, and just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, that's like this morning they said that one of Diddy's ex nannies came forward because she said he got her pregnant, and when he found out she was pregnant, he fired her.
Are we supposed to know, like, figure out if that's true or not?
It was on a news article. Again, all allegations, but
Yeah,
the
innocent until
powers that
proven
be know
guilty.
what's true. So like,
Well, listen, they're not just going to raid your house because they felt like it. Let's
no,
pick this
the
celebrity. So,
FBI
like,
get paid very
yeah, they have a lot of
good.
things on him in order to do a
Yeah.
raid like that. And his kids were placed in handcuffs. So, you know what I mean? When they were there.
All of
So,
its
like,
kids, yeah. Apparently,
there's,
he wasn't
and
even
he,
there.
no, he dipped. They tracked his, I think it was his private jet to, like, I don't know if it was the Dominican or the Caribbean, something
He
like
went
that.
somewhere, yeah, before they could get
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
They'll get him though either way. Come on, let's be
Mhm.
realistic. But no, I did see the
It's
videos.
accusing him
Like,
of sex trafficking, sexual abuse, and rape,
yeah,
which
they were
again,
like saying he was accused of locking people in cages and shit, like trying to
I
break them
don't
down.
fucking
Like,
get it.
you never know what to believe. But
Oh, I
again,
forget.
here's a
Yeah.
person that we grew up with in our time. Like, it makes you think. Like, you got the Nickelodeon scandal.
Hmm.
You have the Diddy
A lot of things
scandal.
are coming out.
A lot of stuff is coming to light, and again, it all ties back into our generation is smarter than the older generation above us that wants us
It's
to
just
think that everything is
more.
just
I think
happy go dandy, and it's
I
not.
think our generation is just more aware of a
We're
lot of
very
things.
aware,
Like,
very in tuned.
yeah.
This says on March 25th, federal agents
Hmm.
raided the music mogul's residence in Los Angeles and Miami. NBC News reported that the search warrants are connected to a federal
Obviously,
investigation into allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Federal agents in New York have also spoken with at least 4 Jane Does and 1 Jane Doe as part of the investigation, with more interviews to come. As in a statement, Combs' attorney Aaron Dyer said there was a gross overuse of military level force during the execution of the search warrants. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way.
Oh yeah. They also have these people they hire for them, like publicists and shit like
Oh,
that. So
yeah.
like they tell them you can say this, don't say this, don't say this, don't say this, because I feel like a lot of these people, and honestly, I'd probably slip. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
who
eventually,
wouldn't?
and if
Yeah.
it's the FBI, you're gonna shit yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're guilty, you're guilty, dude, and they're gonna find out. Clearly, they already have stuff against you because they're coming and raiding two of your houses on different sides of the country.
Not
Different
one,
sides of the country,
two.
Los
At
Angeles
the
and Miami,
same
at the same
time.
time, because it said you're not getting away as he's
Yeah,
flying away.
they're like, we're gonna get you, dude. You can be in the Caribbean, but we're gonna raid your house.
yeah, that was crazy.
But it makes you think, like, how much is this really true?
Yeah.
Because if it is true, J-Lo
guess
going down too.
A lot of people are going to be going down.
And let's be realistic, people. If this shit's true, you're screwed. Because he's going to keep every kind of blackmail he can to make sure that he's taking you down with him if he is going down. So let's be real.
Cassie.
Oh man, I liked Cassie.
Yeah,
I
me
remember
too.
she came out with those two hit songs, "Long Way to Go," and I forget the other one, something Me. But like, then she just vanished.
You and Me. That's what it's called.
And that's because Diddy whooped her ass. So it's like, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. And these women, they're fucking gorgeous. And get treated like shit.
It's a way to manipulate the human person.
Oh yeah, of course.
You're
and
gonna
again,
beat
it's the
them
industry.
down as far
It's
as
the
you
industry,
can.
or they're gonna again blackmail. I know this person. You're gonna do this, or this is gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't
That's
want
so
this
sickening.
leaked. Yada 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 yada.
Yep.
But it makes you think like how corrupt this world really is becoming.
It's imagine what the government doesn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
The top secret, files that you see in the movies, like that shit's real. Just you're just never gonna find out.
Yeah.
And I've had friends in like the military and stuff like that, and they're like, I can't tell you details on who, like certain things, but like I'll be here. But like that's all they're able to tell you.
So now we can go into another segment called Fun Facts. Fun fact number 1. If my computer wants to work with me. Did you know that Australia is wider than the moon?
Really? I wish it didn't take so long to get to Australia, because that's been one of the places. Australia, France, Greece, and Italy are like, and Spain are like my top countries I'd like to travel to, but Australia.
It says that the moon sits at 3,400 kilometers, 2,113 miles in diameter, while Australia's diameter is from east to west is almost 4,000 kilometers.
Oh wow.
2,485 miles.
Wow, that's crazy. And then we live, or like you take a state like Rhode Island, and it takes you 45 minutes to get to each end of the state. But then like Texas, it takes you, I don't know, hours or a whole day to get from top to bottom. You know what I mean? Or like east to west. And then there's Australia. Yeah. All right. Fun fact. These are for kids, but they're also still fun facts. The bats are the only flying mammals.
What is it?
A bat?
I thought you said a bath. I was like, my bathtub.
Bat. The bathtub you no longer have. Do you know if tomatoes are a fruit or a vegetable?
A fruit. That I do know.
Good answer. Do you know why?
They don't have seeds, right?
Not that it doesn't have seeds.
I forget.
So technically, according to the botanical classification, tomatoes are fruits. So botanical fruit would have at least one seed and grow from a flower of a plant. So with the definition in mind, tomatoes are classified as fruit because it contains seeds that grow from a flower of the tomato plant. So like it flowers and then grows into a plant. But if it's going to be a vegetable, these fucking cars, man. A vegetable is the edible portion of a plant. So vegetables are usually grouped according to the portion of the plant that's eaten, such as leaves, like lettuce, or stems, celery, roots, carrots, potatoes, bulbs for onions, flowers for broccoli, or fruit is a mature ovary of a plant.
That is different, but I did know that. You were not getting me on that one.
Say a lot of people fight over that one. A lot of people fight over that.
Here's a gross one. It might make you take your headphones out. Out.
Oh no.
Headphones can increase the
Oh, I don't
bacteria
even want
in
to
your
know.
ears. Wearing headphones for just an hour could increase bacteria in your ears by 700 times.
I guess I better scrub my ears every time we film then, because we do this for over an hour.
Yeah, we do. Did you know,
uh,
fun fact, avocados are not vegetables?
is it a fruit?
Avocados are fruit because they are single-seeded
Oh,
berries.
what? A berry?
Mm-hmm. Look it up. It's part of the U.S.
What?
Department of Agriculture.
It's a lie. No.
And you're a chef and didn't
I
know
didn't know it was a
that.
fruit. Did you know Buzz Lightyear's original name was Lunar Larry?
No.
Could you imagine? I didn't either. Could
Lunar
you imagine?
Larry.
And Toy Story?
There's no fucking way.
What is, so obviously like his name's Buzz Lightyear, so everybody calls him Buzz. But would it be Lunar? Or would it be Larry? Can you imagine fucking Woody calling somebody Larry or Lunar?
Yeah. Larry.
Uh,
All right. Human teeth are the only part of the body that can heal themselves. Teeth are not made of live tissue and are coated in enamel, which can't
mhm.
spontaneously
Combust.
regenerate.
No. Did you know
Fun fact.
lemons float but limes sink?
Wait, lemons float and limes sink? Why?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Now every time I get one, I'm gonna like drop it and see.
Tigers have striped skin. We know this. It's not just striped fur. Okay, so
oh yeah, same
that was
thing
a
with a
glove
zebra.
moment.
If you were to shave a zebra, it's like I
The
think
stripes are
it's the
still
same
there?
thing. It's the
I
skin.
never
Yeah.
thought you could shave a zebra. I thought they were just skin. They have fur on them.
Hair. It's like a horse. Horses have hairs.
Zebras have hair.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Do you know? I think this one's funny. Allodaxophobia.
What the heck is that?
It's the fear of other people's opinions.
I could give a shit for other people's
Well, it's not. Yeah,
opinions.
this is different. It's not the I don't care about other people's opinions. This is the I fear other people's opinions.
Oh no. So a shrimp's heart is in its head.
A what?
A shrimp.
Shrimp's heart? Yeah,
is in its head. If that wasn't interesting enough, due to the nature of their open circulatory system, shrimp have no arteries, so their organs just float around in blood.
That's interesting.
That's
so you know when they
gross.
tell you to devein a shrimp,
Mm-hmm.
you know what that is?
Wait, what?
When they tell you to devein a shrimp,
No.
oh,
you got to pull the veins out?
Well, have you ever done it? Like when you get shrimp, or or it'll say like peeled and deveined already on the package. But if you get like fresh shrimp, you got to peel it, and then there's that dark line that goes down the back of their back. They call it the poop chute. That's their their digestive.
The
Yeah, the digestive tract that you have to clean out and everything like that. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So if you're ever eating shrimp and you see that, I would either send it back or clean it.
That's so nasty.
Google Images was created after Jennifer Lopez wore the green dress at the 2000s Grammys. I thought Google Images was wrong.
Google, you better get ready to remove
it. Going back, yeah.
An 11-year-old accidentally invented ice pops. In 1905, young Frank Epperson left water and soda outside overnight with a wooden stir in a cup. When he discovered the mixture had frozen, the Epsicle was born.
What? So somebody accidentally left liquid outside with a stick in it, and it was like, oh, a popsicle.
With powder. Soda powder.
So flavored, pretty much.
He left water and soda powder outside overnight, and it created what is called the popsicle.
What? That's crazy. That is a fun fact. That one's a little fun.
Oh, I like this next fun fact.
This one's a little crazy to think about. So if there was a ditch, or like if there was a hole in the middle of the earth, it would take you 19 minutes to fall to the center of the earth.
Why so long? That's scary as shit.
Why so long? I don't know.
If I was falling for 19 minutes,
which means it would take you.
I would have a heart attack.
If you were falling for 19 minutes, it would take you 38 minutes to reach the other side of the globe.
No, thank you.
You know how they say like dig to China?
Yeah.
But you just fall to China instead.
We are more creative in the shower. Fun fact.
Probably because that's where my mind likes to wander a lot. Whether it's singing songs, dancing.
Oh, we dance in the shower, Billy? Okay. Here's one of the most useful weird fun facts. If you'd ever felt like you think better in a warm shower, you're probably right. The warm water increases the flow of the dopamine and makes us more creative.
I did know that. And if you take cool showers, which I tried to do this for a while, not cold, but like just like if you think about it, when you get into a pool and it's like 80 degrees, like that's cool, but like warm. So when you take a shower and it's a hot shower, it's like 120 degrees. So if you
Yeah.
just take like an 80, 90-degree shower, it increases blood circulation, it fights depression, and it makes you feel better.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So when I did it for a while and I was going to the gym and stuff like that, after a while, I love hot showers. I can't do cold.
I
So like
love
I did it for a
showers.
little while and it does help, but I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
The longest English word is 189,819 letters long.
What the hell is it?
You want me to say it when it's 189,000 letters
I
long?
want you to attempt to roll it off your
Oh
tongue.
my god.
Oh
Oh, and I
my
gotta look it
god.
up. Longest word in English. All right. Pneumo. Hold on.
What's it look like?
Pneumo no. Pneumo no ultra microscopic silicovolcano. That's only 45 letters. So I don't know. That's the English language. I don't know what this other one was talking about.
Oh
But
wait. Okay, so Nemone ultramicroscopic silvo volcano coniosis. That's the word.
yeah, that's not the one that they were talking about because it's 189,000.
That one's only 45
That's
friggin'
45. That's the
letters.
English one. Yeah.
What is the
So,
full word with titin?
Titan.
Titin. Oh, titin is a 189,000 letter long word, and I am not even gonna attempt to say this one because yeah.
Yeah, but you wanted me to try to do it.
Okay. Did you know Fruit Loops are all the same flavor despite the
Ew.
different colors?
I did know that.
This is such a disappointment, but it makes sense when you think about it, which is funny because when I read it, if you go back in the footage, you'll see my face, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm like, wait a minute, I used to tear up some Fruit Loops, but never
I
knew they were
love Fruit
different
Loops.
flavors.
You don't, because they don't want you to think that. So, like, when
Yeah.
kids say, I only want the green ones, it's only because they think it tastes like different color or different flavors. No number before 1,000 contains the letter A.
Wait, what?
No number, like when you write in a number, contains the letter A before the number 1,000. So 586, no A.
Yeah, it really doesn't when you
984,
think
no
about
A.
it.
No. Nope. Did you know your circulatory system, which means like your blood flow system, is more than 60,000 miles long if they were to
Jesus.
lay it out? Same
Did,
thing with your intestines. I think it's like your intestines are like a mile long or something like that.
oh, mine ain't a mile long. I give it that. McDonald's serves spaghetti in the Philippines. The spaghetti meat sauce pasta comes with a
That's
side
so
of
gross.
McDo fried chicken. This sounds so tasty to be considered one of the world's funnest facts. I don't know that I would go to McDonald's for spaghetti though.
It might be very different in the Philippines. But
Mm-hmm.
like still, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Did you know Japan has one vending machine for every 40 people? Right.
No.
No, I didn't either.
That's wild.
McDonald's once made bubblegum flavored broccoli.
That's disgusting. And
I'm
I
gonna have to look.
actually love broccoli. So
Oh my god, it's real.
is it?
In fact, the focus group subjects were nothing short of confused. Ultimately, McD's candy flavored broccoli never made it to the chain's menu. So they had the idea, just never.
Mm-hmm.
No shit. Why would you put? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
So you know what I'm
Well,
actually excited for?
your brain alone burns around 400 to 500 calories a day. Well, doesn't seem like it with the way my brain moves. My brain don't stop.
My metabolism is not my friend.
No, not at all.
So have you ever heard of this person called
No.
Tyler Henry?
Oh, this medium guy you were talking about?
Yes. He's like he
Yes.
reminds me of Teresa Caputo.
Yeah, that's who I
Long
usually
Island
watch.
Medium.
I don't even really like watch her, but I'll watch her clips
I
because she'll
haven't
come up.
watched her in a while, but like when she streams, because
Yeah.
she was just recently on the Breakfast Club, I'll watch her content. She's very good, but he kind of reminds me of her. But like he is only 28 years old. He was born January 13th, 1996. He is considered the Hollywood medium with Tyler Henry, and considered Life After Death are his television shows. And I just want to say, like, he is amazing at what he does.
Yeah,
Like,
his is
people are
crazy.
skeptical. They believe it, they don't
So
believe
so
it.
was I until I had experienced it with my mom, and there was no way that that medium would have given me the answers that he gave
That's what I'm
me
telling you.
without him knowing me like that. And he doesn't. He's lived in England. We did it over, I think, it was Facebook video. So like,
Yeah.
there's no way. And like, my mom don't post it. He didn't even know I was coming. So like, you can't look me up. He don't. My mom doesn't post anything like that. Like, but he knew a lot. He knew about my dog. He knew about people stealing from my family. He knew like a lot more than I ever thought he would.
Yeah.
He gave us a couple dates. And then he said he's like, dates are kind of iffy, so I don't usually give them because it's not always right. And they some of them were off, but it was still pretty crazy to see how close they get to
It's kind of
things.
like spot on.
You know, he would probably like. I follow her on TikTok. Her name's Amy Boleski, and she's a medium too. But she'll do like lives with people and like do like random readings and stuff like
Oh,
that. Yeah,
really?
I
We'll
like
have
her.
to look her up and
I
follow
like
her
her.
then. But with that being said, he currently has his tour going around, which I'm super excited for. I bought tickets
Do you know
for
where
it.
you're sitting? Like, are you close
Dude,
or?
I am 5 fucking rows, excuse my language, bleep that out. 5 rows from the stage, right on the end.
Wow.
Yep, me and my sister.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. I called her up. I was like, I'm gonna wear Pop's shirt and I'm bringing Nanny's little Tweety Bird
I
keychain. I
would
was like,
too.
somebody better come
Yeah, yeah,
through.
yeah.
Like, she loaded up with her stuff too for her 2 grandparents.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm super excited because it's like a once in a lifetime thing. You're not guaranteed to get anything,
Oh
but
yeah,
like,
of course.
he'll
There's just how
start
many people in the audience, so.
he'll start speaking out too, like with what your loved one sends him, and then he'll say like, if this is you, stand up and go to the microphone.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, dude, for what I paid for these
I would
tickets,
cry.
something
Yeah.
better come through.
Yeah. One of my the one of my friends, her daughter was like babysitting, and
Yeah.
she had taken her to I don't think she had her license yet. So she had taken her to meet this girl and kind of like do an interview and like talk about like what she needed and everything. And this lady came outside and she's like, I need to do this, and like just instantly started reading her. And
Yeah.
then she's like,
It bothers them.
yeah,
They
and
can't hold
Gina
it
was like, I
in.
can't do this. Like, this is a lot. Like, I came here thinking that she's gonna hire my daughter, and she's like, now she's reading me. She's like, she told me about my dad coming through,
Oh
about my late
shit.
husband coming through. She's like, I couldn't take it. We had to stop, and she was getting so tired. She's like, I have to stop. It's just, I'm like, you went to go take your daughter for a little interview for a babysitting job, and
And
you
this
got read.
medium, and you
Yep,
got your answers. It's
yep,
crazy. Like, that's like Teresa
yep.
Caputo. She'll always like
She's so funny.
rolls her lips or like flicks her
Yeah.
nails, and then she's like,
Do you
I'm sorry,
understand?
like
Yeah,
I have to do this. Can
yeah,
I, this is me. And then
yeah,
she'll
yeah.
give you a story, and like some people are skeptical, and then when they let her do it,
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
she'll say something.
whoa, how do you know
They
that?
always say something like, I forget what it was even, and I don't know if it was like this lady lost her son or something like that, and she said
Yeah.
he's showing me like this little red fire truck,
Oh
and the mom
god.
like lost it. She's like, that's he carried that thing everywhere. But like, who would know
uh,
that?
yeah.
You're going to somebody who doesn't know anything about you. Who would possibly know
And
that?
they tell you small little key details
Hmm.
that you're like, okay.
And I've tried because again, I've played with the Ouija board when I was in college and stuff,
Hell no.
and that's been
I grew up in a haunted house.
yeah,
Nope.
it's been like 10 years at this point, and I still try to figure out and like debunk it in my mind, and there's no
You can't debunk
logical
that shit.
no
I
logical
remember
explanation.
um
I told my friend, I was like, you're taking that and you're putting that in your car or your house because I don't want it
burn
in my
it. Don't take
don't
it.
burn
Burn
it. They
it.
scream. We're not supposed to burn it.
So with that being said, I realized and noticed that oh no. All right, now we're back in business.
Well, now I don't have to have this. Yeah, anyway, back to where
what tangent
I
were we
I don't even
on?
know what we were talking about. Psychics and the Ouija board. Don't
Oh, the
burn
Ouija board. No, the reason I say that is because so my dad's house is haunted. It's considered a Victorian home. It's over like so many hundreds of years old, but
I don't know if I ever would.
kind of kept up with, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been there in like 8 or 9 years. But anyway, long story short, when I was a little girl, I grew up with a friend that lived on the same street as me, and his dad was a cop. His dad always looked out for us and kind of helped look over us with my dad. So we always called him my uncle. That's where my uncle comes from. So me and his son grew up together, and I remember one day me, my sister, and him were hanging out. We went to his house, and it was like all his family was there, the cousins, everything. We're all just chilling in there, and the mom leaves, and a girl pulls out a Ouija board, and the guy's like, no, put that away, put that away.
My mom always told me
I'm not
in
gonna
her
name drop
house.
him, but it was my one friend, and I looked at him, and he was like, no, he was like, We did a Ouija board in my mom's house the other day because the parents were separated, so the dad would
Mhm.
pick them up for the days and then bring them back. He was like, and now doors are opening, lights are turning on, water's
Yeah,
running.
dude.
He's like, my mom screamed that she thought she saw someone in the corner of her house, but we can't tell her we
They
did
don't
the
they
Ouija
don't
in
you don't
here.
think
I'm
about
like,
it
you're
because
crazy. They moved out.
it's marketed like a game. But
Yeah,
like
but it's
if you believe in that stuff, it
not.
does, it opens
Yep.
the portal and then like and even like I had did that and I was what, 20 years old at this point. It was
Mm-hmm.
3 o'clock in the morning and my mom worked night shift. So like
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten I was with a bunch of people and most of us believed it, but like my one friend, like her girlfriend was like, I don't know. And like, y'all are gonna do this is stupid, like, like
Yeah.
whatever, shut up, sit there, we're gonna do our thing. So like we started doing the thing. We got random answers, random questions we were asking, and I was like, dude, if you're messing with this, like I will hurt you. Like I'm trying to be serious. Like I need to figure out if this is real or not. So then we all started asking like individual questions because it was more of like, did you die here? And like my building was old. It's in Rhode Island, and like
Yeah.
Providence is one of the most haunted cities in the United States.
Oh.
So like my building was on the bay and like old as shit. So they there's like people who died, I guess, on the plot or whatever the case is. So like that was happening, but it was like switching a lot. And we're like, this is weird. So we're like, all right, let's see how real this is. And like she was asking questions like my best friend, like even I didn't know the answers to. Like I was asking questions like she had no clue. Like we were both getting answers. And I had turned around and asked the board if it was related to anybody in the room, and that shit said yes and spelled out my name. That's what made me shit myself. So then, like I remember my mom had called me a couple months before, and my grandpop's aunt, who I was super close with, passed away. So then I'm like, oh, do you have sisters? And start spelling out like Mary and Loretta and like all these names that like nobody's gonna come up with the name Loretta off the top of their head. Like that's an old style name.
Yeah.
So like she spelled that out, dude. The board at the end literally went in circles and drove itself to goodbye. So at that point, we were like, okay. It still gives me the chills talking about it. Like, okay, what do we do? Because you're not supposed to take your hand off the board until the portal, quote unquote, is closed. So like the board just said goodbye. We looked it up and like did our thing. I called my mom so quick, I was like crying. I'm like, I talked to Aunt Catherine. She's like, what are you talking about? How much did you drink? Like, she's
Yeah.
dead. I'm like, I know, that's the problem. I was like, I fucked with a Ouija board. She's like, William Patrick, I told you
Oh
not to do
yeah.
that. And she always like my mom would never kick me out, but she said the one way I would get you out of my house is if you played with the Ouija board. Because
My dad did that too.
her and her siblings did it, and the board was doing nothing until my mom came, and
Oh
then like it
yeah.
started going
No.
crazy.
No.
And when she was
Yeah.
little, she had told my grandmom about this man standing at the end of her bed,
I love
described him
that.
to the T. It was her grandpa. She had never met him. He died before she was born. Never saw him. Never met him. Described him to the T, standing at the end of her bed.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. So like
Ugh.
there's so many things that like I've heard. You hear stories and stories are
Yeah.
stories, but like there's so many things, and even like I've experienced things that I'm like, maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me because I
Yeah.
believe in it. But then you experience something like that,
Yep.
and you're like, I can't. I'm like, no, maybe she was moving it. I'm like, no, there's no way. Like, you know what I mean? She was crying too.
Yeah.
Like she
That
had
shit's real. And I'm telling you, anybody that I have come across paths with or I know that has interacted with one of those has been scared for their life,
hmm
terrified of what they experienced, and has ultimately
and I've
destroyed that Ouija board and got
and
rid of
and
it.
it literally makes you like I want to do it again so bad, but at the
Nah,
same
man.
time I'm
No,
so petrified
not with the
because
shit
this
I went
this
through
was
as a kid.
before my grandparents passed away. So like they're the only person that really I would have connected to was that aunt that supposedly came through or whatever. So after my grandpa died, I was like, I want to do it again. And then my mom's like, do not. And like
Because it's
because
not really your loved ones that
they
come
tell
through
you
that. They tell you
exactly,
it's
exactly,
demonic, not
and it's playing you, making you think,
like
which
heavenly.
I don't
Yeah.
know again how truthful, but again, I do not want to
Mm.
find out.
Like again, people I've known that have uses, shit started happening in their house and
Yeah,
they
my blind
moved
in
out.
college, my blinds would the thing that you twist, like the twist the blinds, like that would just start swinging.
Hmm.
I would throw out. There was that little booklet. It's not. You don't. There's no instructions for a Ouija board. It just tells you what it is. So
Yeah.
like I had gotten rid of that booklet. I would like open my drawer and that shit would be back in my drawer.
Yeah.
But the
No.
board, but the board
No.
wasn't in my room
You
anymore
gotta
because my
burn
friend
that
had
house
taken
down
it.
too.
That's a whole dorm building.
Take the whole
And
building
my
down.
dumbass did it in my dorm room. So
You're
like we didn't do
stupid.
it in a community room. We did it like in my room
Nope.
with the
I
lights off
will
and everything. I
never
think all we
mess.
had was like a desk lamp on.
I have done stuff where I've gone to graveyards at nighttime. I have done all
That
those
creeps
little
me out.
haunted roads in New Jersey at nighttime. I have witnessed it. I've experienced it. I love stuff like that. But when you grow up in a
When you
house,
actually experience something petrifying, it's a
yeah.
whole different.
And for me, growing up as a kid in this haunted house, the shit that I experienced and I lived through, I will never touch a Ouija board a day in my life because I lived it in real
In
life,
real life,
minus
without
the
I was
Ouija
like
board
without the Ouija
opening
board,
it.
yeah. So
Yeah. And when you have to have a priest come in your house and bless
and
that
bless it,
shit after Ghost Hunter
and
leaves
you gotta
it,
hope that even
no.
works.
Yup.
Between that, they talk about
It
sage.
seems like it worked. Like I will say
It calms down a lot.
when a pastor came out and blessed our home, you could feel
The
that
energy
that
change.
that lift off your shoulder. It's hard to explain, but it's like almost like you have a hard time breathing, and it's like, oh my god, the air opened up.
Literally like an energy change.
Oh yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
that stuff's
And
scary. I
yeah, I
wouldn't wish that on
remember
anybody.
after they blessed the home,
Mhm.
the producer Ghost Hunter people came back to my dad like, oh, can we do a second segment? Like, this is crazy what we
Yeah,
got. Like, we want to
and
get
it's
more. And he's
well,
like, nah, we blessed it.
the
Nope.
the area we live in is like Native American ground, so
Mm-hmm.
like even like years ago, like we don't know who's buried where, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So like your house could be sitting on one of those burial, and unless you go to like City Hall and like actually look, you're
Mm-hmm.
never gonna know.
There's this place in Glassboro called the Robin's Nest. It's right by it's on Delsey Drive, across the street from Rita's Water-Ice.
Mhm. Oh, I love me some
It's
Ritas.
no longer called the Robin's Nest. It's shut down, but it used to store children and stuff in there that were basically learning how to live on their own and
Mhm.
stuff like that. They were kids of the state essentially.
Yeah, like
Or they could
with
be foster
assistance.
kids,
Yeah, yeah,
anything of that nature. But anyway, long story short, that property is built on an Indian burial
yeah. No,
ground.
thank you.
And that building is haunted.
Mm.
I know people that
Well, they
lived
talk
in there.
about.
They have experienced it is haunted.
Yeah, I'm good. You even talk about, and this could be like our final closing thing. The sides of bridges. I don't know if it was like in the Delaware or whatever, but like years later, erosion happens like over
Mm-hmm.
time, and the sides
Yeah.
of these hills are going away, and there's coffins sticking out the sides, and people are you can physically see these coffins that have been buried for like hundreds of years, but now between erosion and the river and everything, and the building, like they're starting. You
Where's
have
this
I
at?
don't remember. I have to look, and then they have to relocate them because now they're literally sticking out of the ground,
That's
and they're going to be
disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine you're a construction worker or whatever, and you just look, and there's a whole casket. Like you know what I mean?
And
Like
there's
that's
no like headstone to
no
tell you it's
headstones.
there.
Yeah,
It's just because it
yeah.
became one
Start
with the
digging.
ground.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah. So
shame. It's scary and
it
it's
is.
so sad.
It is. Stuff like that is
Mm-mm.
crazy, but
Yeah. Nah, see that I live by a graveyard and I'm telling you, there's days I'll come driving home half asleep, tired from work, look over and they're like pulling a casket out the ground at
yeah,
nighttime, putting it on a truck, locking it and driving away with it. Like almost like they got a court order to exhume this body
yeah.
and like
It's probably what
recheck
it
it.
is. Yeah,
But I'm like, I've seen this happen 3 or 4 times since I've lived where I live
yeah.
now.
Happens
And I'm
more often
like,
than you think.
you don't want to see that shit. You're disturbing somebody's soul that's sleeping and you're pulling their body out the ground. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No,
Makes
but
me like,
yeah,
please don't walk in my home at nighttime. I
yeah,
promise I'm good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
nope. But I will say, living by a graveyard or on the road of a graveyard, I will say
Nah, I would say
my
bye. You live close enough.
my home is very quiet. I love
Yeah.
this home. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
good. All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Episode 5, Corks and Cooks. Yeah. So
We will see you for episode 6.
yeah, obviously, I think this week I'm gonna do like a baking episode or a baking recipe. So maybe we'll do some cookies or
What we'll do is post a video. We'll give you 3 options to choose from, and then you tell us what you would like to see
yeah,
Billy make.
yeah, and we'll get
And
a
me
couple.
eat because I haven't gotten to eat anything in 3 weeks.
God forbid.
Let's just re-clarify this. I'm not being
I
spoiled
haven't eaten in
anymore,
3
viewers.
weeks. Not I haven't eaten anything you cooked. It's I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. So we need to have a talk with your husband.
You. Remember, we got this sharing agreement. If I have to share, you have to share. So you
Yeah,
need to
you're
feed
right.
me.
You're right. You're right.
But no, thank you for
Thank you for
listening in.
listening.
Stay tuned.
Stay
Like,
tuned.
follow, and drop a comment, guys.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.